Hello students, today we are going to discuss on Unit 4 of the chapter Mystery of the Missing Cat. So now let us discuss upon it. So before going to Unit 4, let us discuss some points on Unit 3. So what was the theme of Unit 3? Unit 3 was all about the writer's closeness, physically closeness to the minister, and how minister's cap was being stolen by Jhandu, and what was the result of it, and what was the reaction of Sri Maharana, and either the writer disclosed the secret to Sri Maharana or not, and after listening the truth, how did Sri Maharana react? This was the situation. And what was the opinion of the small kids of the village? So what was the opinion? The small kids are speaking that the thief will be put behind the bus along with all the villagers. And some are speaking that some of the branches of the tree are being cut up and now the thief is going to be hanged. Now come to Unit 4. Sri Maharana was aware of the mystery behind the missing cap. So he was not clueless to the mystery. He acted smartly. And Sri Maharana was a smart man. The truth behind the missing of the cap was known to him, but still he behaved in a smart way. But the situation changed suddenly. And what was the situation? The situation was all worried. There was anxiety among the people. But the situation was completely changed when Sri Maharana get to know about the truth of the missing cap. I saw Sri Maharana and the minister coming out to the veranda. I did not know how Sri Maharana had explained the matter to the minister. And it is not known to the writer that how the complete matter was being explained to the minister. And how did Sri Maharana handle it? But the minister was all smiles. All smiles means he was smiling constantly. It was the most remarkable smile that he had hitherto, means till that time. Okay, up to. Okay, by then, at least half a dozen cats have been procured. Procured means arranged. So, it is not known that what was being spoken by Sri Maharana to Babu Biruki sir, but the minister was smiling, and it was the most remarkable smile that the minister was displaying till that time. But in the meantime, at least half a dozen caps, means almost 6 caps were also arranged in order to give it to the minister. But he appeared with his head bare. But what was the desire of the minister? But appeared with his head bare. But the minister did not wear the cap. He was remaining barehead. Even to a boy like me, it was obvious that his bald head, no hair was there, old, means it was displaying an aura of martyrdom, and it was shining as if a person has sacrificed his complete life on behalf of the country. Okay, he was behaving, means his head was symbolizing, it is only the expression of the writer. So his head was symbolizing as if he has sacrificed all his life, all his happiness for the welfare of the country, for the welfare of the motherland. No less than 5,000 people had gathered before the specially constructed stage when the minister ascended it. So when the minister went up to the stage, how many people had been arranged? There were 5,000 people were attended in order to see the minister or to hear his speech. That remarkable smile still clinging to his face, and still at that time his face was wearing that remarkable smile. Sri Maharana sneezed. The lawn means alone. Sri Maharana's niece was a single high school educated girl of the area, and Sri Maharana's niece was the single girl who was high school educated in the complete area, garlanded the minister, and Sri Maharana's niece garlanded the minister before 5,000 people. A prolonged means a long thunderous applause greeted the event, and everyone started clapping when Sri Maharana's niece garlanded the minister. For that was the first time our people saw what they had only heard in the tales of the ancient Swayambars. And what is being spoken by the writer? The writer has spoken that till that time his people have heard about Swayambar, that the girl was garlanding a man, but right now they did see it in front of them, that a young girl is garlanding a person. Tales of the ancient Swayambars, a grown-up girl garlanding a man in public. Then the chorus, a mighty minister, O mighty minister, was sung to the accompaniment of two harmoniums, a violin and a khol. It had been tuned in the kirtan style. Then the song, which was being practiced by the high school, by the upper primary students, is being sung there. That was the welcome song, and it was tuned in the kirtan style. And some musical equipments were also used, like harmonium, violin, khol. All these things are being used in order to play the song, and the small kids started singing the song. Then it was Sri Maharana turn to say a few words of welcome as the chairman of the reception committee. And what was the role of Sri Maharana? Sri Maharana was the chairman of the reception committee. Then he has to speak a few lines. I saw him. I was standing just below the stage. And where was the writer? Suppose this is the stage. And here the audience is sitting. And the writer was here. Okay. So, the writer was standing just below the stage, and the writer was having clear look towards Sri Maharana. And I saw him moving his legs and hands in a very awkward fashion. And what did the writer notice? He noticed that Sri Maharana's hand and legs were shaking in an awkward situation. And what was the thing? Thing was, he was shaking like palm leaf because he was going to speak in front of 5,000 people. Certainly that was nervousness, and it was due to nervousness, but with a successful exercise of willpower, he grabbed, means captured, the glittering mic and managed to speak for nearly an hour, giving a chronological account of Babu Birokis's achievement and conveying gratitude on behalf of the nation to the departed soul of the minister's parent, but for whom the world would have been without the minister. And Sri Maharana was literally shaking like a palm leaf. But right now, when he went on the stage, he just captured with all his willpower. He mustered his willpower. And what did he do? He just captured the mic and started speaking. Managed to speak for nearly an hour. And what was the duration of his speech? 1 hour he was speaking. Giving a chronological means what? Something which is arranged one after another, okay, in a proper sequence. And he gave a chronological account of Babu Birokis's achievement. Then he spoke on the achievement of Babu Birokis and conveying gratitude. And he was also expressing gratitude on behalf of the nation. And why he was expressing gratitude? He was not expressing gratitude because of the arrival of the minister, because of the deeds which was being done by the minister. At the same time, he was not expressing it on behalf of himself only. He was expressing it on behalf of the complete nation. To the departed soul of the minister's parent, at the same time, he also expressed his gratitude to the departed soul, means the minister's parents are dead. So to them also he thanked, but for whom the world would have been without the minister. And he also expressed what the world might have been without the minister, means they were feeling incomplete without the minister. It means the minister is there, that's why they are leading a happy life. I was happy that Sri Maharana did well in his maiden speech. Maiden means first time something is being done for someone, by someone. So the writer was quite happy because Sri Maharana did well in his maiden speech. But the greatest surprise was yet to come in the concluding observation of Sri Maharana. But still, the greatest thing was yet to come. In the concluding line, Sri Maharana was going to speak something different. Well, then he started. Well, many would take Sri Maharana as a pakka politician, and a number of people are speaking that Sri Maharana pakka politician. But I can swear that it was out of his goodness, a goodness unbalanced by his excitement, that Sri Maharana uttered the lie. And people are thinking that Sri Maharana was a pakka politician. But according to the writer, he was not a pakka politician. He spoke it because he was a good human being. It was out of his goodness, a goodness unbalanced by excitement, and there was no balance of his goodness and excitement. And Sri Maharana, from the very beginning I have told you that Sri Maharana was a kind-hearted person. He was a good man. He said, and what did he speak? He did speak a lie, and it was known to the writer only. Uttered a lie. He said, his voice raised in crescendo. Crescendo means what? Increasing and decreasing order. Okay. Okay, he was speaking in a crescendo that, and what is mentioned, crescendo, my brother and sisters, you all must have heard about it. And it is also mentioned that Sri Maharana is speaking in a crescendo, means there was gradual raise in his voice. And he is speaking that, my brothers and sisters, my dear brothers and sisters, you have heard about it, about the mysterious disappearance of the Honorable Minister's cap. And what is he speaking? That you must have heard about the disappearance of the Minister's cap. Right now, you think that the property means referring to the cap, it's stolen, don't you? And then Sri Maharana is speaking that you might be thinking that the cap is being stolen. Don't you think like this? Naturally, but not so. Ladies and gentlemen, not so. And now Sri Maharana is speaking, but this is not the truth. It means the cap is not stolen. It means what? What is the truth? The truth is the cap is being stolen. It is taken away by Jhandu, by the monkey. But right now Sri Maharana is speaking that the cap is not stolen. Sri Maharana smiled mysteriously. Then Sri Maharana gave a mysterious smile on his face. The minister nodded his big clean head, which glowed like a satellite. And what did the minister do? He was just nodding his head. He was just shaking his head. And the head was glowing like a satellite because there was no hair and it was shining. Sri Maharana resumed and Sri Maharana began to speak. You all are dying to know what happened to the cap. Sometimes we are speaking, you are dying to eat this one. You are dying to know the truth. Likewise, Sri Maharana was also speaking that you are dying to know what has happened to the cap. Isn't? And it is like this, a certain nobleman of our area has taken it away. Why? And now Sri Maharana is speaking that you are dying to know the truth on the cap, but the truth is that a sacred man of our area has taken this cap away. Why? And what is the reason? Well, to preserve it as a sacred memento. And what is the reason? In order to preserve the cap as a memento, as a gift, the man had stolen the cap. But the man has not stolen, the man has taken it secretly. He was obliged to take it away secretly because otherwise, the Honorable Minister of Fisheries and Fine Arts, who is a burning example of humility, would have never permitted our friend, the nobleman, to view the cap as anything sacred. And what is being written here? It is written that the man is allowed to take the cap secretly because all of you know that our Honorable Minister of Fisheries and Fine Arts, is a noble man, and he will never ever let the man to take his cap away in order to preserve it as a divine gift. So here the man has taken it secretly. Sri Maharana stopped and brought out of his pocket a handkerchief full of coins. Then what did Sri Maharana do? He just stopped and brought a packet. The packet was filled with coins. And holding it before the audience said, well, ladies and gentlemen, our friend the nobleman has requested me to place this humble amount of 101 rupees at the disposal of the ministers, of the Honorable Minister for some little use in his blessed life's mission. And what is mentioned? Then he displaced the coin in front of the public and said that the nobleman has given this money in order to use it in the great life's mission of Babu Birokeswar. Means he has given this money so that the minister could do some welfare work by using this money. And 101 rupees at the disposal of the Honorable Minister for some little use in his blessed light mission, the service of the people through fish and fine arts. And how he has to do it? By fish, sorry, by serving the humanity, by serving people. The minister has to use this money, and he has to develop people by his fish and fine art. Means he has to develop that department. Sri Maharana bowed and handed over the money to the minister, who, with a most grateful gesture, accepted it. And Sri Maharana, he just bowed down and gave the money to the minister. And the minister also did accept it. Applause and words of wonder and appreciation broke out like a hurricane. Hurricane means what? A terrible storm. Okay. So, people started, means clapping. They started, appreciating the nobleman. Even the minister and Sri Maharana clapped their hands. Then of course the minister spoke for 2.5 hours, drinking a glass of milk in between, at the end of which he declared that as a mark of respect to the unknown admirer of his, he had decided to remain bareheaded for that whole night, although the good earth did not lack for caps, and in fact a surge of caps had already tried to crown his undaunted head. So here, then the minister started speaking. How long did he speak? He did speak for 2.5 hours. And in his speech, he told a number of things. And apart from this, he also told that in order to pay homage to the respected thief, to the respected nobleman, he desired to remain bareheaded the complete night, even though there are a number of caps in order to crown his head. But to pay respect to the person, he will remain bareheaded. Soon my shock gave way to double his feeling for Sri Maharana, an appreciation of his presence of mind, and a sadness for having to spend 101 rupees to cover Jhandu, the monkey's missing. And suddenly there was some double his feeling in the heart of the writer. In the first case, he was thinking on the presence of mind of Sri Maharana. On the other hand, he was thinking how Sri Maharana had to pay 101 rupees in order to hide the mischief of Jhandu, the monkey. And that night, all the respectable people of the area partook. Partook means take part. So, partook of the dinner that reception committee threw in honor of the minister. Glances of awe and esteem were frequently cast at the minister's head, and homage, honor, paid to the honorable thief. And what is mentioned? At that night, there was a party which was being arranged by the reception committee, and people were looking at the minister's egg-bald head, and they were paying respect, they were paying homage to the honorable thief. But when I saw Sri Maharana in the morning, I could immediately read in his eyes the guilt that haunted him. Hunted means strike him. But in the morning, when he did see Sri Maharana, he could realize that how he was feeling guilty for his lie. At least whenever he saw me. So at least whenever Sri Maharana was seeing the writer, he was able to realize that how he has spoken lie to thousands of people. Sri Maharana perhaps had never uttered a lie, but when at last he uttered, he did so before thousands of people. And Sri Maharana has never ever uttered a lie. But when he did speak it, he did speak it before thousands of people. God apart, at last, there was one creature, that is myself, who knew that he was no longer a man of truth. Apart from God, God knows everything. But apart from God, the writer was the single person on earth who knows that Sri Maharana is not a truthful man because he has spoken a lie. The minister, however, looked extremely delighted. Delighted means happy. But anyway, the minister was very happy. He did not seem to notice with what constraint means strain, stress Sri Maharana was conducting himself before him, and the minister was unable to realize that with what control, with what stressness the minister was unable to realize anything, but he was unable to realize the mental condition of Sri Maharana. What was the stress in his mind and how he was presenting in front of him. These things are not noticed by the minister. Okay. So what is the theme of this unit? In this unit, Sri Maharana spoke for 1 hour and the writer spoke for 2.5 hours. In the meantime, Sri Maharana expressed gratitude on behalf of the nation, and he also spoke that it is because of the minister that all these things are going properly. And the minister spoke a number of other things, and apart from this he also told that in order to pay respect to the nobleman who has taken his cap, because previously it is being spoken by Sri Maharana that a nobleman of the village, of a distant village, has taken the minister's cap in order to keep it as a sacred thing, in order to treat it as a pious thing. That's why he has taken it, and he also handed over 101 rupees to the minister in order to use it for the welfare work. And the minister said that in order to pay respect to the nobleman who has taken his cap without informing him, he will remain barehead for the complete night. So in the meantime, the dinner party was also there. A number of people were also invited. They were watching the bare head of the minister, but no one noticed what is the stress on Sri Maharana, how he was presenting himself before others. But to the writer, it was known that Sri Maharana was not a truthful person because he has spoken a lie. When he has spoken a lie, he did it in front of thousands of people. Okay? Thank you.